Guess we're live.
Too much.
Oh, no, there it is. I got a ding where it's going live and a ding where it is live. And we're live with the Metal Lab. Let's start it off by saying happy holidays, everybody. Whatever holiday it is that you and your family do celebrate, or if you don't celebrate a holiday, and happy winter. um, I am here, of course, with Michael and Jordan. Jay is absent today as he celebrates Hanukkah and is celebrating with his family right now. So all the best to you, Jay. And we're doing our end of the year recap. So we're really excited. We've been getting together our lists, checking them twice. We're going to be talking about who's naughty, who's nice, and we're going to get started first. What everybody wants to hear at this time of year, and it's you go on YouTube, everybody's got them. It's the top 10 lists. So we're going to start with Mike, and we're going to go over his top 10 figures of 2014. Just get right into it, Mike.
I thought it was top 15.
Top 15?
I didn't realize. Here's my top 15. Oh, I got an extra 5.
All right, bonus 5 from Michael even.
I would start with the Weaponer of Quard. Everyone's groaning right now. Oh, really? The Weaponer of Quard? Yeah, I played with him a lot. It was, he's a really fun figure to play with, very, very flexible, interesting little temp pole, just all around really easy to use, and just dirty as all hell. Then I go to Fiddler from the Flash set. I really like him. He's good if for my Swarm teams. Really, really enjoying him. Proxima Midnight, ... run around, ... Then I go to Ebony Maw. I just love the control. I mean, he is a situational character. You need to make sure that your opposition is using probability control or perplex in order for him to be viable. Then I go to Superman from the strategy game. I've never found a figure that has quite such an interesting defensive ability. Being able to essentially stop in front of the bullets for your teammates, I think is pretty amazing. Plus, whenever one of your teammates takes damage, there's that ability as well. I do like Black Talon. It's very flexible, great to use with other people. Don't like the fact that the Doctor kind of nullifies him, but still really, really fun. Wolverine and X-23, great combo. The only duo on my list. Really enjoy them. Then I go to Tiamat because of what kind of nasty things I can do with him, with that figure and the yellow battery. It's just not a nice day for anybody. I have one Possessor on my list. It's Ion. Double stat boost, and double replacement is pretty amazing. I had to throw in Dexstar as well. Dirty little bastard, just gets out there, claw, kitty scratch, meow.
Kitty's got claws.
Then I have to go to Jake Williams. I mean Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is one of the best figures from the Flash set, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Love to make other figures my pudding. Then I go to the question. I don't really have to say the most recent question, of course, the one from the Flash set. It's just really good overall. Chase, Dr. Alchemy, just because he's unique in his ability to use barrier. What is it? I think it's 10 pieces that he can do, and they can all be on hindering terrain. That's unique. Then I go to Bizarro just because of the way he acts. Once again, Jake Williams with the Violet battery. It's just dirty. I feel badly for playing with that. It's not fun for anybody. Go from there, of course, to Headpool, his best buddy. Same reason. And I think I've covered my list pretty much. Yeah, I think that's all 15.
Yeah, it seems to be a good year for you there, Mike. Good selection of figures, a lot of them really good. Jordan, your turn, sir. Your top 10 or 15 or 20 or whatever you have.
I went for 10, but in no particular order. White Phoenix Hope, Cheetah Prime, GW Bridge, Wolverine and X-23 duo, Cable from the Deadpool set, Parallax, Captain Marvel Prime, Proxima Midnight, Dark Flash, and The Question. The Question is the most undercosted figure I've ever seen. I guess the idea of never having to clear is outrageous. The impatient person in me loves it. It's like fight, 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 fight.
Yep.
I like gratification based.
Yeah. Well, moving on to my list. My list I actually managed to order. I did only put 10, and I do have a couple ties because of reasons I will explain as I go through them. Starting at number 10, I put both the Weaponer and Sodomyat in the same position because without them, I don't own a Necron. I pulled this. They were the auto plays practically in War of Light, and I also had the pleasure of getting stomped by one and very, very luckily beating another in Nationals. So I do appreciate how good that figure can be and how well it can be played in the game. And Sodomyat because, he rewarded me for being a little careless in the games I played him with. So I need that sometimes, to be honest. Number 9, and I've been saying his name weird every time I talk about a local sealed, is the Fiddler. I do like the way when I pulled him, I do like the way he played. He was very interesting. I've never appreciated Ignore Elevated Terrain for Line of Fire as much as I did when I played with this figure. I pretty much took buildings away from people as hiding spots options, so when you do that, you have quite a few more things going for you. Next up was Bizarro, because the second Superman: A Legion of Superheroes came out, and me and Amber started playing with this figure. We really fell in love. Like every single team that we came up with had a Bizarro, and when we were doing our try hard teams. So yeah, we really got to appreciate this figure. The new Harley, I'm really getting some enjoyment out of. I do feel like she is she's that new answer to that space that was missing with the Scarlet Witch. Although there's limitations to her probability control, like Scarlet Witch's, and there's limitations to her perplex. But when you put it all together, I found that she's really been working as that supreme support piece, where you have all the offensive support that you need in that tight little package. This next one, I think, is going to throw little people through a loop, but I really like from the movie starter set, the Rocket Raccoon. At 75 points, he was a tiny figure with reasonable enough defense, but he also came with stealth, ignores characters and hindering for shooting, outwit, willpower, and the ability to shoot twice in a turn. Me and Amber came up with some really neat ideas with him, one of which, of course, involved carrying him with Alyosha's Lion to get some early hammers on him, and some other shenanigans, with free actions with Alyosha. Because he has the animal keyword, which puts him that extra little step up where, animal keywords are a pretty strong keyword once you start playing it with Alyosha. My next one is a half joke, but really real. Tawny the Tiger. I do like that little tiger, but I also like the guy he comes attached to, which is Captain Thunder. Holy hell, did I not expect that character to be as awesome as he turned out to be. That stop click in the middle can really make your opponents go, wait, I did what? Because where it is it's where you've taken enough damage that your opponent's been throwing damage at you, and they've eaten Mystic's damage for it as well. And then you turn around and you blow up in his face with a big pulse wave, and then you're back to being offensive again because you had your action token removed. It's a pretty potent click to be on, and it can really catch your opponent through a loop. Next on my list at number 4 is Engineer. This figure at 175 or 90, she's so versatile. She fills all the needs that you need when you need them.
Definition of versatility.
Yeah, and if that wasn't a free action, she'd probably be number 1 because how.
Let's not get too carried away, Jason.
Next up is Dark Flash, because I really like the point cost for output that this guy does bring to the game. There's some support pieces I've been looking at, and I'm considering some ideas for him with the ROC coming up in Windsor. So I do I have been experimenting with ideas with this guy. I can't wait to actually give them a try on the board. My number 2 figure, who is also in my ROC list of figures to play, is Thane. This is one of those guys, those figures he's got a lot of bang for buck, and is probably going to catch some people off guard when they play against him for both his offensive and defensive capability, because he comes with traded support until you pulse wave with him. And when you pulse wave with him, you lose his support. But until then, you have support, and his support can be used while you're still based to your opponent. So it's a support where if you have this character stuck in there against your opponent, it can really kind of save you in the long run. And my number 1 is a 3-way tie because I play these figures together, and I can't figure out which one I like the best out of them. It's the new Trinity of Sin. I do like the way that these figures play, and I have to say, all 3 of us put the question on our list, which we'll discuss in a second. I think Question and Bizarro hit everybody's list.
So good.
Yeah. That's the question. Somebody asked me the other day, is like, which would you prefer, Question or Pandora? And if I was to pick between the two and I could only be allowed one, it would be Question. Yes, definitely. But when you include Phantom Stranger on a team with all 3 of them, they are a 400-point team on their own, or an under 300-point team with room for a resource if you play them at their lower point values. So they play very well together, and the Phantom Stranger's ability to carry the entire team and put them in your opponent's face is astronomically amazing. Plus the fact that if played right, they will not be making very many actions, or they will not be taking turns without taking an action very often. I know Pandora's probably would be the most consistent for it, because sometimes you're just going to be in that situation where, like, there's a Thanos with Power Cosmic, and there's nothing on his dial you can really just go, I'm going to outwit that combat ability, because sometimes it happens, and there's a chance where you can't outwit, but you can generally always perplex, with the exception of Power Batters.
Though I would like to add, generally, like, characters of Power Cosmic have, like, combat ability. You can outwit.
Usually they have, like, flight or claw or something going for them.
Very often flight.
Yeah. Very often. It's just there's occasionally the moments of Thanos, like I mentioned. Thanos is one of those ones who he never seems to fly, never seems to have a duo attack or sharpshooter. He just always seems to...
And then you're just like, oh my god, I hate you!
I can't outwit! Why can't I outwit? But his ability to copy Quintessence off of Phantom Stranger is amazing. So
good.
There's that. And, you know...
Mistakes.
Yeah. But, as far as the lists go, the figures that did seem to make every list... I don't know. You went through your list very quickly. I don't know if I caught it or did you have the new Harley on your list there, Jordan?
Just shy.
Just shy. Okay, but Question and Bizarro made everybody's list.
Not mine. Bizarro was not on my list.
Bizarro was not on your list. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say Bizarro.
No Question.
Right. But Question's definitely on everybody's list. So,
baby.
do we think we might have accidentally put him on the watch list by doing that? Too many people like him. No.
One of the things I feel like you can't watch list about him, like, sure, if they were to be like, no, fuck that outwit power, he just outwits. Like, if they were gonna say that, he's still on the list. He's got what, 9 standard powers top dial? That's outrageous. He's 100 points.
Yeah, and
just being able to charge, punch, smoke cloud. He's Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to tell my buddy Chris, but I'm going to say to him now, Question is more Batman than Batman, and Bizarro is more Hulk than Hulk.
He's more Superman than Superman.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a good year for figures like this. And I want to take that into the next segment, where we talk about your favorite set and also your least favorite set. Now, I want to preface this as it's not necessarily that we dislike this set as a whole. It's just, you know, it might have been, in a lot of our opinions, the good year, and one set just kind of stood out as not as good or as interesting, or, you know, one of us might actually full-blown hate a set, and, you know, they can justify it right now, starting with Mike.
What? I'm going again first? Okay.
You know what, we'll put Jordan first. We'll put him on the spot first, because you seem to be picking up on it.
All right, well, for this year, I actually loved the 5 main sets we got, the 2 storyline events we got, or 1.5 storyline events we got, and then a couple of movie events, sets. I'm not usually big on movie sets. Winter Soldier was awesome. Favorite set of the year, Deadpool. would have to go to Deadpool. Close second, Flash. Worst set of the year, kind of was hard to pick because I did have a wide variety of characters from almost like every one of the 5 main sets. Probably the one I liked the least, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cool. I can see that. Yep. Mike.
All right.
You're up now.
Favorite set of the year, Flash. Even down to just visually, the sculpts on that set are incredible.
Yeah.
They've really upped their game. A lot of transparency. The detail level's gone way up. Very, very few paint issues that I've noticed on the figures that I've gotten, especially the chases, of course. Close second would be War of Light because I really enjoyed the whole, like most of the event. I guess the first 4 months anyway. And let's see here. Worst set, I would say probably Days of Future Past. It was just kind of boring for me. I didn't really want to play it. I do love the X-Men, but just, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. And close second is War of Light for worst set as well. Not because of the set itself, but because of the duration of the event. They really needed to compress that into 4 months. It was just like the last 2 months was arduous. You know,
They just could throw in a third wave of boosters.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they should have had a third wave, absolutely. Or
I was being sarcastic. Don't you agree with me?
Oh,
Don't you agree with my sarcasm?
I like your
Don't you think WizKids can do that and make it a good idea? That is not cool.
Makes sense.
All right.
I mean, more product. Don't get me wrong. I kind of like to see more stuff come out, but my wallet.
Your wallet. I collected a full collection of chases.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you did. I'm pretty close too, actually.
All those entities, man. All those entities. All right. My favorite set this year, I do have to agree with Mike, is Flash. Yeah, okay, it's probably got the new hotness feel for me, but there's a lot of figures I want to play going into that set, whereas, like, you know, a set like Guardians of the Galaxy didn't catch me, where it's just like, there's a couple of figures I want to play, I do like this set, so on and so forth. So, Flash definitely stuck out to me as my personal favorite set. A lot of the figures are good, a lot of the figures I keep trying to build around, and I'm really looking forward to finally getting into some videos with Amber and playing with some of those figures, because we have been doing this little War of Light tournament that we've been doing, that we might have to start sidetracking with some extra games to get some more fun out of. And my least favorite set started the year as my favorite set, got halfway through the year as my favorite set, and then got watchlisted to hell, was the Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. I started the year just absolutely in love with that set, and then Tellus, Highfather, and Bizarro have all been put on the watch list, and all those figures have changed. And like I love that set so much. Every figure from that set was just amazing, and something it just got beaten into submission, where half the figures you kind of look at and go, is that how it still plays? I got to double check now, and I gotta rethink, you know, because that doesn't work the way it used to work, and I don't know. It just, a lot of that irked me, and it's nothing to do with the set. Like I said, if you would have asked me this question prior to any watch listing or any kind of changes to the set, Superman Legion of Superheroes was my favorite set, and I really liked it as far as a competitive game and as far as a thematic. Like, I kind of liked a lot of the Injustice League guys, and this, you know, Legion of Superheroes guys are pretty cool. But the more and more they just kind of beat on the set and beat it up, I've kind of lost my taste for it. It's kind of my position on it. Yeah. Slash rant.
Yeah, we ended up playing at my store. That we ended up playing a lot of sealed events for Slosh. It was really, really early in my Clicks experience, and enjoyed it at first, but got really, really tired of it by the end of it. Was just craving more and more product at that point.
Yeah, because it was in that spot where it was really early in the year. Let me check. It came out in February, which would have been the first set of the year. So it was really exciting to get that set after such a long drought that we had. And then, but then we started, you know, we got a movie set, and then it was just a long drought to May until Deadpool. And then if you compare, like, up from February to May, and then in the past, like, 3-4 months, we've just been inundated with stuff.
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, now we're entering another drought.
Yeah, we're
Well,
gonna.
it always goes down during the holiday season,
Yeah.
and then it picks right back up where we see we're gonna get between February and May like 3 sets, 2 movie sets, and um, a special tournament or something like.
Barring delays, of course.
Oh no, everything will
Yeah.
be delayed 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's the standard.
Yeah.
Three if the labor issues in California still keep up. So there's that. But I want to move on to a joke suggestion. I feel like it's a joke unless somebody actually gives a damn about this. In which case they should recheck their priorities in life. But somebody did request this on our Facebook page, and I felt the need to oblige. It was the best dressed and the worst dressed of HeroClix this year. Now, I decided I was going to take one male, one female best dressed, and one male and one female worst dressed of the year. So I'm going to give my start with the best dressed male and female happen to be on the same figure, and it is the Hulk and the Red She-Hulk. The Hulk looking very dapper in his wonderful tuxedo, holding a little James Bond pose, and Red She-Hulk showing just enough ab and boob for me to be comfortable with it. But I shouldn't say too much beyond that because my wife is right there. Worst dress was a little bit trickier, but for the males, I had to go with Amazo. Don't wear these pants if you're gonna skip leg day. And
Why is he wearing the same length of pant as my future father-in-law? They're up to his past his belly button. Like,
I know.
what's with that?
It's like there's a rip, there's nice rip pecs here. There's got to be abs under it. Why cover it with the pants, right?
Yeah.
And worst dressed female was the hardest choice to make because comic books. But I went to side the Orange Lantern because she looked like she just rolled out of bed and was wearing her boyfriend's T-shirt.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys came up with something because I think I just presented this to you when we got onto the Hangout. But Mike.
Yeah, I've got something for sure. Best dressed, Despotellus. Come on.
Emperor's new clothes right there.
Good. I also like Computo. But more seriously, I really, really like the way the X-23 and Wolverine duo look. They're pretty badass.
Yep.
Sitting there. Worst dressed, I would have to say Solomon Grundy because his pants are going to fall off. Great figure, but also the Chicken Man.
I didn't even think of Black Talon.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Somebody mentioned this as well, but I kind of think she looks hot. I don't know.
I don't think the colors clash with her hair, but you got to give her points for being black.
She doesn't know the difference. Yeah.
She's a gill.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're up.
Over to you, Jordan.
Best dressed for dudes. It's going to be a toss-up between Question and Pete Wisdom. And worst dress, I'm going to have to just say flat out the Trickster. Because that's one goofy motherfucker.
That is
That's pretty terrible. Which one?
The Junior.
Right.
Oh.
Because he's all like, I let my friend who's never been outside dress me this morning.
I want to get another look at that. Oh yeah, that's hideous. Oh, even Ray Charles would be like, "Oh, those colors are loud."
Man, I'm blind again.
Blinder. All right. I already did. I generally do this with Amber around Worlds myself, but I kind of have some more to add to the list at this point. And excuse me. I want to talk about your Clix year resolution. Is there something you want to do going into the new year? Because it's that time of new beginnings and everything like that. Going into the next year of HeroClix, is there something you want to change? Something you want to do habit-wise? Any habits you want to kill? Something that you think you can do to make yourself either a better player, better person for the community, anything in general with regards to HeroClix going into the next year. Mike, start with you.
It may not have to do with play. I really want to actually organize a couple mini qualifiers here. because I don't think that there is nearly enough organized play in Canada. We need to bring it, and I'm not sure beyond that. I guess just get better in general. I mean, I'm still a fairly new player, so there's still more to learn. And remember all of those rules and all the conflicts and all the things that I've already learned, rather than having to relearn things like 40 times. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see or do for myself.
Yeah. All right, Jordan.
Win all the things.
Whew.
Go as long as possible in the new year without losing a single game.
Are you including practice games for the ROC or?
Yep.
Oh.
Well, come on down.
No. Myself, there is something I do want to do a lot better, and that is I want to be better with new players. Lately, I used to be the best with new players. There was a time when I first started the game, actually not when I first, but like once I really got into the game, where I had this habit that kind of stuck with me from when I worked at Games Workshop, where I would be really good at teaching people how to play the game because I'd run demo games all the time, and I'd be, really interested in that kind of thing. And I kind of took that and brought that to Heroclix for a little while, and then I got back into it and I started, taking the game seriously again. But then I kind of lost that, and I don't have the same patience I used to with new players as I do now, and I kind of want to bring that back to the game. And I know myself and Amber are going to be starting our new rules show, hopefully next month. For new players, so we're going to start from bottom up and do that. Also, I want to get myself to significantly more higher level events. Of course, we have the ROC. I get both coming in my ear all the time. Anyway, I want to get to that ROC, of course, in Windsor, and that's March 7th. And then I want to, I want to go for. I went top 18 in nationals this year. Let's go top 8. Let's move up 10 spots.
You can do better than that. Second place.
And
behind me, of course.
So now it's just beat Jordan in nationals and place higher than him. So I think top 8 should do fine. You can take 9th.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if I win?
I don't care. You didn't smack talk. You can.
Wait. I'm sorry. You were
I
in
said
the
top
running?
8.
We were being serious about this, Mike.
Let the smack talk begin already. Nationals isn't even close to announced. I think I was talking to Alex. He's like, yeah, we're probably going to hold it again. That's the best I got out of them. And hopefully it's a Carta Magica is running it again. With any luck, they have a bigger venue. If not, they did a good job with the space that they did have. And I wouldn't mind doing it again there. I'll also keep the same hotel I stayed at because it was walking distance from the venue, so that I could take all my goodies and move them to my hotel. Now, before we get into the New Year's wish list, I want to see, because we talked about our favorites, you don't have to make a list or anything, but does anything stand out this year as far as clicks or anything as a disappointment to you? And it's not to be negative, but certain things could be done better, of course, and certain figures could have turned out better. And let's just take it away if you have anything that kind of stands out. And we'll put it on Jordan first, because.
I'm sorry, you were just cutting out for me. I didn't hear the question.
The question is there any disappointments this year in Heroclix? Be it a figure, be it just, anything that should have happened, didn't happen, or anything?
I mean, if I wrote a list throughout the year, there would be hundreds of things on this list. First things that come to mind, Barry doesn't have 4 super rares in the Flash set. Number 2, Barry doesn't have willpower in the new Flash set. 3, Barry doesn't have a 14 attack in the new Flash set. you kind of get the idea of where I'm going.
Now, hold on. You like Barry Allen? Is that what's going on?
No, not at all. I just think it could actually be somewhat decent for once, just once. And for a mutual friend, Chris, I think Wonder Woman should get a beastly remake.
Yeah, I gotta say the OP kit. I want to play her.
I love her.
Still not a perfect Wonder Woman, but she's interesting.
I think for 180 points, if you were to be like, what's a Wonder Woman for 180 points, that is a perfect Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Now let's get a 250 point Wonder Woman.
Oh,
I want that.
That's the next thing.
I'll play that with the yellow battery and parallax on her.
I'll play 180 with the yellow parallax battery. It's just.
All right, Mike. Any disappointments this year?
It's
I know
all
it's your first year, so
yeah, it's all pretty magical and new for me still. Disappointments, maybe some personal ones, as in the things that I don't have. I don't actually own a parallax entity at this point in time, and I need one.
yeah.
And Red Rain Batman. Where's mine? I don't have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are two disappointments right now. Aside from that, I'm pretty happy with the sets overall. I mean, it is very new for me. I'm not that interested in movie sets, so those were disappointing for me. I just didn't participate in them, generally speaking. Although I did, even though you guys didn't like it, I liked the Winter Soldier from the Captain America Winter Soldier set, with the crow's nests. I thought that was kind of an interesting mechanic and kind of something that's different and new. Just trying to think if there's anything else that was really disappointing. I don't know, that there's not more organized play, as I said before. There's my cop-out. The end.
Oh, one more disappointing. No Cable and Deadpool duo in the new Deadpool set.
That did kind of stand out to me. I didn't want to bring it up, but yes, it would have been nice to actually get another Cable and Deadpool. The X-Men, giant-size X-Men one is kind of in the past, but I don't know. As far as disappointments go for me,
it just makes sense.
Yeah. As far as disappointments go for me, organized play is good in our area. It could be better. I would like to see more stores do a bit of more stepping up as far as bringing major things here. In the greater Toronto area, I know Toronto itself as a city is very expensive to run certain types of events, and I don't want to put that on a lot of the stores. It's not really their fault. It's hard to get a venue in Toronto, but I feel like we should. I could probably be doing a better job of it myself too, as getting organized play back in the outskirts of Toronto and talking like Mississauga. We used to have like 3 stores in Mississauga. Now I got to go all the way to Brampton to play. And for those of you who don't live in the Greater Toronto area or anywhere understand our locale is Toronto has several cities outside of it called the Greater Toronto area, and all of them are within like half an hour drive from the city itself. And
they're basically connected.
Yeah, they're basically we're all neighbors to a degree, and it's just a lot of the areas in the outskirts are great for being able to run these things. There's community centers that are relatively inexpensive in comparison to how we can run these things. It's just we need somebody at our end organizing, and I feel like I've been a bit of a disappointment as far as being that figurehead to get things organized and to push the stores to organize it. So I think I've been a disappointment, I could say. I'm probably being a little too harsh on myself, but what can I say? I'm trying.
Well, the new headset's helping.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way. I got this from Mike. We traded some figures. Like, hey, I got rid of my PS3. You want this? Here, have it. And it's working wonderfully on my Mac.
Good, as long as
and as far as the game itself is concerned, I'm a little disappointed that the watch list had to happen. Its existence isn't a problem. It's the fact that it has to exist is an issue. And I wouldn't mind a little bit more going into the knowledge of what's going on and being aware of what could possibly happen with things so that we don't have to do things like the watch list. I mean, I don't want to see the game go the way that it did between Arkham Asylum and Hammer of Thor again, but I also don't want to see the need to have a desire to have reprinted cards, because right now I'm looking at it and saying, okay, if you're going to watch list all this stuff, can I give you a few bucks and get some new cards, Anyway, that's my small disappointing thing about it.
Don't be so hard on yourself about that stuff. I mean, it's not just on you. It's on everybody here. Everybody who lives in Toronto. We do need to, as a player community, we do need to step up and create more opportunities for play.
Yeah, we're a big area, and I think we could make up a better part of the playing community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But on that, I want to go into our mystical portion of the show where we get to play with our imaginations, and we're going to talk about our New Year's wish list. We have 2015 coming. We know most of the sets coming up. And using the theme of the set, we know that the sets are going to have a theme to a certain degree. So try to be a little bit relatively reasonable with regards to your expectations of what's coming. But that said, New Year's wish list. Mike, do you want to start, or should I give it to Jordan?
Sure, I'll go. I want to see another macro resource. I know it's a little bit more expensive. What I'm right now is actually the lanterns. I'd like to see a Marvel equivalent where you have multiple, something that has that many pieces and has many interchangeable pieces that relates to an organized play set. I'm not sure whether they'll do the same thing for Age of Ultron next summer, for the next summer. But I'm hoping that they do, because I find that kind of resource kind of interesting to play with. It can be a little bit monotonous because of the duration of that organized play event, but still very interesting. Wish they'd released the multi-spectrum batteries a little bit sooner, so we could have played with them possibly in it. Yeah. But aside from that, I would like to see some Marvel Possessors as well. I like the Possessors. I think they're interesting, but it needs to be simplified somewhat because it does extend the length of a game, for instance. So by the end of the game, you've killed one Pog, and that's why you won. The end, right? No. Other than that, wish list wise, I don't really have anything else that I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to playing more because it is still all new and shiny.
Okay.
The end.
Very good. Jordan, anything you want to add?
Wish list wise, I'd have to say with the Marvel Possessors, maybe get like Carnage and Venom symbiote.
That would be cool.
Like little things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even if they're not even that long, like make them like a Carnage, like a 6-7 click Possessor. Make it the 25 point still, because it's still doing something top dial into the important clicks of the character, and most characters are 7 clicks or less anyways. You kind of get like a huge bonus to it, and it'd be like a really interesting thing that you would get now for Marvel. I'm a huge fan of keyword cheating, which is why GW Bridge had to be put on my list. So just more keyword cheating, possibly more generic keywords rather than just cosmic.
With the symbiote idea, you could even make it so that basically they don't give +1 or anything like that to the first person they're attached to, but they can start on one character and for 25 points and move over to another character on your force and take one of the abilities with it. Leave it there, but actually take it on and add it to the new character. I don't know, it's just spitballing at that point.
Or rather, just like give it an ability that just, rather than just like affecting multiple people, you can just throw it from person to person. It's like, hey, this person's close to dying, jump.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And different possessors obviously would have different behavior in that way.
And I guess to balance it out, throw in a breakaway rule if they're in combat.
Nah.
So it's not like, I base your possessor, you can't do anything. It's like, well, I just jumped away. It's like, we stop the roll breakaway, it'd be fine. But a wish list, other than that, I'd really like to see a Hulkbuster. I know we saw one in the Age of Ultron movie preview. I hope we just get an updated version one, because the last one we got, Monsters and Mutations, kind of only playable with the Book of the Skulls now. Although I do have fun with it. I would like just a new Tony skin. Maybe even as another Possessor, and this is totally going over the line, and fully like a Jordan's wish list would be like an Iron Man suit Possessor.
That'd be cool.
That would be absolutely awesome.
The different mark suits, even, just depending on which set it comes with. They could be different possessors.
Hell. Now, bro, you're filling out my Christmas tree right now. I only want one. I'd be more than happy enough with just one. Like, right. Impervious, range combat expert. You know what? Hell, let's throw a spin on that. And it can give combat abilities. So let's throw sharpshooter onto it because of Jarvis.
Well, you're missing the mark. I want the stealth suit one. I want to be able to add stealth to whomever I please.
I want defense abilities, maybe an outwit and sharpshooter, and that would be something very original.
Could be very cool. Yeah.
All right. As far as mine is concerned, seeing the CSA come back, I want to see that team ability come back. I'm really looking forward to giving other people action tokens so that I can prob you. Really want to do that. I really enjoyed that. It's like, okay, that guy back there is taking an action token, and I'm probbing you. I want to see how that works with the new way prob works. So, um, but beyond that, Age of Ultron with the new resource, I'm really looking forward to seeing if that works the way I predict it's going to work, where we're going to kind of get alter ego almost dials come on the board with the figures of the cards that you play on. It might end up becoming point cheating to a certain degree that's on the level of team bases, which kind of worries me.
I'm so confused as to what you're talking about, but sounds interesting.
We have this Avengers table, which is the resource for Age of Ultron.
Yeah, it's the symbol of the Avengers. Grab your walkie-talkie, call up Iron Man.
Yeah, there's going to be these cards that come with it, right? Now, wild guess, spitballing, the cards are probably going to call on a character related to that card at a specific click. And, Alter Egos, where you have that, 2-click dial.
Right.
Where, you have a character with similar powers, but he's not going to last long.
Like an Avengers Assemble kind of moment.
Yeah. So, I did spitball prediction again. I would like to see that's how it's going to work, and that the dials aren't too overtly powerful, because I could see that being just a new way of changing the game, where the resource isn't actually doing anything to the characters, or it's actually it's adding to your force, which is making the game back to characters again.
Right.
Because I feel like that's kind of the way they're going. If you look at a lot of characters that are coming out, a lot of the generics are getting low point, but high use. Like the Star Labs Technician, I think it is. It's like 33 points, and it's got TK and can give a character Precision Strike.
Right.
So
or the Star Sapphire Recruit that has running shot, Precision Strike. If played with a higher point character, it will get up to the 10 attack. It's got 16 defense with Mystic, Shape Change, Super Senses.
Yeah.
50 points. 45 points. Sorry, even better.
Yeah, and I feel that shift, but the resources are still there to kind of blind us to that shift.
Well, I'm hoping that they make also, once again, to kind of replicate what they've done with the batteries, on-map resources, because then it's semi-character action. You can actually attack it, and makes it more, I guess, interactive in that way.
Yeah. I mean, in my experience, the only times I've ever seen the power battery get attacked were in the Worlds game with Patrick's team. The guy took a shot at the power battery anyway because it's all he could do. And then there was also, every time I played the power battery, got it to that high click, it's like, oh, my opponent, and it's dead. Okay. I've personally witnessed 6 or 7 power batteries die, and I'm pretty sure I'm responsible for 4 too. So power batteries used to fear me being on the board. I'm a lot more careful about it now.
They're a lot
more sensible
games anyway. The power batteries, there's a lot more time to get over there and actually destroy it.
Yeah.
If it's down, you're screwed.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I've been playing a little bit more safe. Is if they get down there and I've done 2 clicks to it, they got to do 22 total clicks to it. And if you're doing 22 damage in a turn, I'm going to congratulate you as opposed to whine that you killed my power battery, because you just you did 22 damage that quickly, right? But that said, yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Is that the resource shift comes more about the character, and we get away from these stat boosting ones, because it's still going to be years. It's going to be years before we see the power battery, or we've had this Worlds, we're going to have next Worlds, and that's when the power batteries are out of Modern.
Right.
And that means that if we stop making resources that are boosting stats, the power batteries will run rampant until then, right? So, and then I don't know what Pandora's Box and the Rock of Eternity are going to bring out either. So, and I mean, looks-wise, it looks like one's going to be a team-based one, and one's going to be a 10-pole-based one.
Right.
So,
interesting.
Anyway, that's kind of my wish list is part prediction too. So, I wouldn't. But end of the year, there's not much being said about it, and I've heard speak of there's going to be a new Spider-Man set, which may include the new Chameleon we're going to see. So I wouldn't mind seeing how that Chameleon is going to work,
Right.
from Patrick.
Right.
So I like champ figures. I don't know what it is. I like the way that these, seeing how somebody who's of high level is going to make a figure.
Well,
and,
it's direct player interaction with
Yeah.
the design process.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some trait copying, maybe. I don't know. That would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for maybe a chameleon I could pop off for a New Hope.
Oh, so fixated.
Yeah. He gets in there.
Fixated, just obsessed.
Oh, obsessed. Sorry, but my bad.
Yeah. Or a chameleon that pops in after a certain amount of damage has been done, maybe. Ooh. It's like character goes a KO. Nope, chameleon.
What?
Point stealing. That's what it'll be. It'll end up being point stealing. It's like I killed your 110-point figure. No, it's a 90-point figure now.
Oh, that would be an interesting idea for the Parasite from Superman.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Yeah, point stealing.
Anyway, that said, it's been a heck of a year for Heroclix. Probably one of my favorite years, to be honest. First of all, I got back into the game, got really heavy into the meta, and I got really excited to play the game again, which always feels good. It always feels good to be, in the game again. And that's pretty much where I stand on it. It's been a good year. There've been some hiccups, of course. Watch lists existed because they had to exist. And yeah. So, closing thoughts on anybody? We'll start with you, Mike. Closing thoughts on the year, because we're not going to do another one of these until the new year.
I'm excited. I'm excited to go into a new year. I'm looking forward to Trinity War. Yeah, I'm hoping to see some interesting new Superman out of that. I would like to see, I guess, more previews, because we haven't seen a preview really in a while.
Yeah,
And they've really been slacking. I think they've been focusing on Dice Masters a little bit more. It'd be nice to see them refocus on Heroclix. Seeing as how I don't play Dice Masters. It's very selfish, of course. I don't know, looking forward to meeting some new players and running some more events.
Okay. Jordan?
I want a really good Iron Man next year.
I'm sure you'll get a couple. One of them's bound to be good.
Yeah, but like none of that Nutcracker Guardians of the Galaxy bullshit. Like a real Tony.
Yeah. Okay. I get you. And I just kind of want to say I look forward to getting some more practice games in with you guys.
Yeah.
And if I played at your house, expect me to bring the iPad, because I wouldn't mind showing people. I'm thinking of doing a montage between after the ROC and the Nationals, and show people what we went through to practice, the cursing that we did at each other, and
That would be good.
the "what the hell does your team do" reactions.
Oh my god! Fuck your face.
Yeah.
It's making me a brand new custom-made gaming table, so we'll be able to have you both over in the new year.
Yep. All right, guys. I want to say thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jordan, for joining me on the end of year show. I want to thank everybody who's watching. Viewer count is 1. I want to thank you for watching. I am going to quickly take it because I believe there was one other question that got brought to us on the Facebook page, and then we're pretty much going to wrap it up unless the question appeared on the YouTube page. I believe I should actually have Married with Clicks and not the Greater Toronto Area Heroclix page loaded up. Okay, Mr. Jeff Bozeman. He says, I recently won a 400-point sealed flash event and won a Krampus. Can I have your Krampus, Jeff? My team was Captain Thunder, Tar Pit, and Steve Trevor. Can you guys talk about Captain Thunder and all... That was Amber in the background screaming Steve Trevor. Can you guys talk about Captain Thunder and all the shenanigans he can pull off? Tar Pit is an awesome figure too, and I would like to hear your opinion on him as well. I wish he moved faster. My team worked very well with each other. I actually pushed Tawny in my second match to a successful 6 on blades self-KO. Well, of course he's going to look good on a 6 blades. Captain Thunder, I said something about him. Anybody else have thoughts on Captain Thunder?
He's awesome. He's just really cool. Yeah, really cool.
So good. I played him a couple times. The last time I played him, he got into a situation where I pushed him, or I moved him out. He gets his hypersonic speed outwitted to the point where he's too far away to really do anything, and it's like, shit. He's not going to do anything this turn. So I end up pushing him to base someone, and there goes Connie being placed next to him, and he's going to go for a Blades Cause and Things attack. He rolled a 1, which was the only thing he didn't have to roll against the question. But
you had one job, Tiger.
Yeah. But amazing.
Yeah.
They're great. No?
Yeah.
Oh, Harper. I would like to point out, everyone's playing hypersonic speed, so all I'm doing is playing him. He just does not want to stop annoying everybody. And that's kind of why I love him.
Nice.
Well, with Steve Trevor, I mean, I don't trust anyone in real life with 2 first names, so...
Do it, Steve Trevor.
Joe David. Yeah, that's a good guy.
Yeah, never trust anybody named Joe David, Steve Trevor, or Steve David.
Or Tommy Bob.
Tommy Joe Bob.
Tommy Joe
Tommy
Bob.
Joe
That's three
Bob.
first names.
Joe
Triple
Bob.
negative.
Yeah.
So negative, it's gone negative again.
Michael Amanda? That's a weird one. I don't know. Strange. Confusing.
Oh boy.
Uh,
All right. All right. That's it for the year in Metafix. It's been a pleasure working with you guys, and I look forward to working with you guys in the new year. Don't forget to check out Carta Magica. They've moved to YouTube because they've been having issues with their Twitch stream. So check them out on youtube.com/CartaMagicaTV. Their games are often fun, and they've actually started doing a voiceover thing. If you watch mine and Amber's video where we did the White Lanterns versus the Black Lanterns, it's something similar to that, probably less of 2 people yelling at each other and more of an organized discussion. And don't forget that the Windsor ROC is on March 7th, 2015. So check out the Facebook page. I believe it is ROC. Let me just look it up quickly here. I should have myself a little bit more better organized. I'm terrible. Heroclix ROC Super Qualifier Windsor, Ontario, Canada is the page. Check it out if you're thinking or interested of going at all. I've heard of a few interesting players that are going to be there that I'm not going to mention on air because it might scare people. In the meantime, guys, have a happy new year, have a happy holidays, and thank you very much for joining us.